Hey guys, DeltaCanuckian here, and I got some Uncharted 3 multiplayer gameplay for you guys, and I'm going to do one of the two commentaries I have planned to get out before the end of 2011, and this one is my Game of the Year awards. It's very much shrunk down from what you'd expect out of like the VGAs, because it's based off the games I have played. I don't play a whole lot of RPGs, role-playing games, so I'm not really going to have something for that, and it's on the games I've played, so I can't come out here and say, oh, Skyrim's my game of the year, undoubtedly, because I haven't played Skyrim yet. You can chastise me for that later. God, I can't speak right now. But these are my games of the year from the games I've played in like the genres that I play most. So let's start off here with the best first-person shooter, and my nominees, or my three choices here. Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare 3, and Killzone 3. And my winner of those three is Battlefield 3. Where it lacks in its co-op and campaign modes, the multiplayer is just too damn good. The map design, the sound, the graphics, the depth of unlocks and ranking up is insane. And compared to Modern Warfare 3, it is just more of a fresher, newer experience. As for the runner-ups, Modern Warfare 3, yes, its single-player campaign is miles ahead of Battlefield 3's, but the co-op, both games, they kind of suck, and the multiplayer, I just find Battlefield 3 to be so much better in almost every way, and that could be what really hampers Modern Warfare 3 for the most part is probably that it's just not really a new experience, and the community is full of a lot of douchebags, to be, frank. My other runner-up here, Killzone 3. I'm a huge Killzone fan, and there was a lot to like, but the campaign was a step backwards. The co-op was almost non-existent. I didn't even realize it was there for the first few months. And the multiplayer, while there was a lot to like, again, it was a step backwards. The map design on the original release maps was not very good. The maps that were released through DLC were a lot better, but the maps that came on disc were not very good, and some of the balancing and the classes and how things were restructured, and the fact that aiming down sights was made to be more useful than hip firing as Killzone 2 was. The game just felt, and I hate to say these words because I hate using them and I get annoyed when people do it, but Killzone 3 is kind of Call of Duty-ified. And that's somewhat what ruined it for me. There was a lot to like, but there was also a lot that I didn't like. On to the best third-person shooter of the year, and my nominees, my three games for this were Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception, Gears of War 3, and Dead Space 2. And my winner, this was a tough one. This was probably the toughest out of all of them to pick, but Uncharted 3. You can call me a PS3 fanboy if you want, but Uncharted 3 was amazing. The co-op, the multiplayer, the campaign, it took everything and just improved on it, as a few games did this year. It is one of the few games you see released these days that is a complete package, 8 to 10 hour campaign, tons of replay value to that, co-op, and multiplayer, which was introduced in Uncharted 2, and they've taken it and just improved it, the amount of depth to it. I'm still playing it. I didn't think I'd be wanting to go back to it, but there is so much more depth to the multiplayer this time around. It is unreal, and it is undoubtedly, well, I should say undoubtedly because I just said it was a tough decision, but it was definitely my favorite third-person shooter this year, and I'm going to say it's probably the best. My runners-up, Gears 3, again, one of these games, you don't see too many of them now, that is a complete package, and Epic Games, the developer, I gotta applaud them for doing that, because their game is epic, but I don't know, there was just something about it that didn't appeal to me where Uncharted did, and that was really the difference. My other runner-up, Dead Space 2, this could have won if it was the complete package, but it was a single-player game with multiplayer that really felt tacked on, though the single-player had a ton of replay value with the new game plus feature that every game should have, which, it allows you to carry all your stuff over from your last save and just kick ass in in the new save, and that was great. Tons of replay value. I've played through the games 5 times. Dead Space as a series are the only games I really do that with anymore that really have that kind of replay value. And it's just a great game. It's the king of survival horror, or action horror, as Dead Space 2 was. Now, my best action game. This was another tricky one, but not as difficult as the last one. My nominees: Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, Infamous 2, 2 PS3 exclusives. Hate on, haters. And Batman Arkham City, and my winner was Batman Arkham City. This game is just wow. I had so many doubts going into its launch. The first while that they were, showing it after they announced it was all CGI trailers. It was CG trailers, no real screenshots. There were like 5 screenshots for a year, and I wasn't really impressed with what I saw. But Rocksteady, they did not succumb to the sophomore slump. They took everything from Batman Arkham City and just made it better. And Batman Arkham City was a bit of a short experience, even with the Riddler trophies to go and find. But after completing the 10-12 hour main story in Arkham City, there was so much more to do in the massive compared to Arkham Asylum world you had to explore here. The new means of transportation, everything, just unreal. It really was. It was a massive improvement, and you can't ask much more from a developer these days. As for the runners-up, Uncharted 3, I've already talked about it. A great game, but the final boss was a little bit underwhelming. And Arkham City was just, it was unreal. It was an amazing game. Infamous 2, great game, but it did have some issues with glitches and stuff like that. I loved it. I still need to finish my second playthrough of it. I'm like 3/4 the way through that. A great game, but just not, I don't think it just is not at the same level as Uncharted and Batman. On to the, let's call it the fail of the year. And my 3 fails of the year. Brink, tons of potential, just unpolished. Map design just didn't work. It was a bunch of great ideas that did not mesh. There's a lot of potential. I'm excited. I hope there's a sequel and they do a better job, but that was a disappointment. Rage, it's id Software. You think, oh man, they're gonna revolutionize the first-person shooter genre. They got this new engine, and the game looked great and it played great, 60 frames. Oh my god! But it was meh. It was a safe game. It wasn't really different from anything. It felt like a cross between Borderlands and Fallout, and that just, it didn't get me all that excited when I, picked it up and played it. But the biggest fail of the year, Duke Nukem Forever. Need I say more? 15 years in development, and this is what we got. I can understand the graphics not being up to par, because it was 15 years in development, but the game itself just sucked. Right, the jokes that were supposed to be funny were not. They were crude, they were stupid, and hell, you couldn't even do a let's play of it without censoring half the frickin' game. It was just stupid. It wasn't one of these games that was, mindless, stupid fun, where you're just gonna blow shit up like Black. This was just stupid. And not particularly enjoyable. It was a huge failure, and I guess it's hard. I shouldn't really call it a failure because it's a success that Gearbox even got it out, but it was a bad game. On to my game of the year, because I'm running out of time here. My nominees: Uncharted 3, Batman Arkham City, and Portal 2, and the winner, Uncharted 3. It is an amazing game. I took it over Batman in this instance. It is just that damn good. It is Uncharted. It's probably the best, probably top 3 in terms of series that are going on right now. It is like playing a movie, and then the multiplayer, the amount of depth to it, and the co-op. It is the complete package. There isn't much more you can ask out of a developer these days. It is pretty damn close to the perfect game. Yeah, I don't know what else to say besides that. Arkham City we've talked about. Portal 2 we haven't. Portal 2 is a great game as well. But it wasn't long enough in my opinion. That was the biggest issue against it. And to finish off here, my most anticipated games, the runners-up, Twisted Metal. Gotta love some Twisted Metal. Ghost Recon Future Soldier, I loved what I played at PAX. Borderlands 2, I was a huge fan of the first. And The Last of Us. Holy crap, if you haven't seen that trailer, go watch it now, because that was insane. Anyways, I keep dropping this thing. My name's DeltaCanuckian. Do whatever you want with all the buttons below this video. Those are my Game of the Year awards, and I will see you guys next time.